Lamar Jackson, the way he has been playing to start out the season is impeccable. 6 touchdowns last week versus UNC, and then 3 or 4 versus Purdue. That's nuts. He's been playing out of his mind. Could he win back-to-back Heisman? Here's the thing. I think if he has to probably go up against Baker Mayfield again. Baker Mayfield. I think he's really the only guy to contend right now. Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, obviously. My bad. Stupid. Hey, Baker Mayfield or Sam Darnold. Honestly, I think Sam Darnold's going to take it because USC's schedule is obviously a little easier. But now it's looking good for Lamar Jackson. I mean, Florida State's quarterback's injured, so Florida State's no longer a challenge for Louisville. Louisville's big challenge comes this weekend versus the Clemson Tigers. I think Clemson's defense is really the challenge. I don't think the offense is the challenge with Kelly Bryant. I think it's the defense. And Louisville has a sort of a shitty defense too, so we got to see how that one plays out. But it's crazy because a month ago we were talking Sam Darnold Heisman. Sam Darnold's going to get it done. But now the season starts and Lamar Jackson has shown us he's boss. Lamar Jackson has been the way I didn't forget about him. I thought he'd be back there, but I didn't back-to-back Heisman. I don't think that's possible, right? I mean, Tim Tebow's gotten voting before, and Baker Mayfield, that huge Ohio State performance. But you don't expect to see these things coming because Lamar Jackson already had one great season, right, for Heisman's. Then having another good season, that's rare. I think the last person that was like Tim Tebow or something. It's like, in Alabama, it's always their defense. You don't have offensively player. I think one of their running backs won Heisman once. I think it was Xavier Henry. Or not Xavier Henry, Derrick Henry. I think he won Heisman that one year they won. But it's crazy because you try to look at all the impact players. There aren't that many this year. You got other than those 3 quarterbacks, you don't got much. And most of the other teams have losses. Big teams have losses. Everything. Other than Alabama, the whole picture is changing right now. Alabama, maybe Oklahoma loses. Maybe Mason Rudolph sneaks in there. If Oklahoma State can get some big wins, Mason Rudolph could sneak in the picture. Jabril Peppers was kind of in the picture last year, but, defensive players are never going to win it. So that's that. I mean, and plus they lost to Ohio State at the end of the year. The game they should have won. The game, as advertised. It was a freaking crazy game. I think it went to overtime or something. But it's a pity. It's a pity. See, because Lamar Jackson is playing like a literal video game. If he wins again... I feel like the only way he can win is if Louisville goes undefeated, wins the ACC, and goes to the playoff. And gets that probably the 2 seed. Because I think there'll be at least 2 or 3 undefeated teams this year. At the beginning of the year, I projected Louisville to have 1 loss. They might still lose a game, slip up somewhere. But for Lamar Jackson to win the Heisman, they have to go undefeated. Because if he goes off like this every single game, 4 touchdowns, 5 touchdowns, you can't not give him the Heisman again. And I don't know. I feel like with Baker Mayfield, he might have an off game or 2. They might lose. Oklahoma State's still a challenge. K-State's a challenge. That Big Ten, some craziness. Texas, Baylor, craziness always happens down in the Big Ten. So Oklahoma might get a loss or 2 in there. Alabama won't lose. Jalen Hurts, actually, never mind. I take that 3 quarterback thing back. I have 4 quarterbacks now. I think Jalen Hurts is gonna compete for Heisman too. So now you got all of these 4 quarterbacks, all 4 of these quarterbacks competing. I mean, I think Lamar Jackson has a 75-25 chance because of the schedule easing up a little bit on him. He has a chance to go undefeated now. Because Florida State, you can't take them easily, but that Francois dude's out. So they're a little bit easier to beat. Then you got Clemson without Deshaun Watson. So you got Kelly Bryant this week. So if you get a big win this week versus Louis at your house, and then you go to play Florida State, you should be fine. But all these games getting delayed, so the scheduling might change, or this might change, or that might change. But just craziness right now. I just think Lamar Jackson has the potential to be a great NFL quarterback, but I don't know if he'll win Heisman again. It's a huge debate And I think Lamar Jackson does have a great chance. But I don't know if the Heisman house will let him. You know, back-to-back Heisman, you know, bragging. But right now, maybe it's just too early to tell. Maybe someone will rise up later, you know? Maybe someone will come up later, play well. You know, surprise team in the playoff. Like last year, Oklahoma was a surprise team for me. They got a 3 and they shouldn't have even been in. Yeah, and then they got... No, that wasn't them. My bad. That was Ohio State. Ohio State got creamed, too. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Maybe some surprise player. But right now, Lamar Jackson has a great chance to repeat his Heisman. Great stats. Great way he's playing. Wow. Just can't wait. Can't wait to see how the rest of the season unfolds for him. Sam Darnold, you know, Jalen Hurts, these guys. But right now, I think Lamar Jackson has a 75% of going undefeated and repeating his Heisman. So we'll see. We'll see. Lamar Jackson putting up video game numbers. If he continues to play this well, Heisman is his. Back to back. First time ever.